What is up, guys, and welcome back to New Game Plus. It has been a while since I uploaded a video using the PlayStation 2 emulator. It hasn't been any update as it is now at this current time that I'm recording this video. But if there's an update for the app, well, I will make a video about it. But right now, as I'm recording this video, there's not an update. This video is a request that I got from one of my viewers that they asked me to test Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. So we're gonna be testing this game right now. We're using the latest version of the PlayStation 2 Emulator, which is let me go right here so you guys can see. We're gonna go to settings. Let's see what the version that I have installed, which is 0.56. That's the latest version as it is now, and that's the version that we're gonna be using. As you guys know, in order for this app to run properly, you're gonna need to use either Altstore ALT JIT streamer, or all the method that I showed before called Jitterbug. Right now, Jit streaming having some issues. I guess I comment asking me about it recently, and I was trying to figure this out too, and I'm having the same issue. So I'm waiting from the Jit streamer thing to respond in their Discord so we could see what's going on. But right now, I'm using my old method, Jitterbug, and again, for that method, as I stated in one of my previous videos, you need to have two iOS devices to do that, or you could use ALT JIT to execute the emulator. But now let me just show you right now how this game is performing. I haven't tested the game yet. This is the first time that I'm running it, and we're gonna be checking the settings. The setting gonna be running it is always gonna use OpenGL, because Vulkan is kind of, even though we have the option for Vulkan, is really broken for the majority of the game that I've been testing. So we're gonna put it at 1x, which is a default resolution, and from there we'll scale the graphics to see how it looks. So let's go and click on it and let's start and play. And let me expand this a little bit. The reason you see all this in the background is because I'm using the iPad Pro M1 to record this on my desktop, and we are using the iOS 16.2 beta 4, and that's the only version that has the ability to have a desktop when you have this plugged in. So that's why you guys can actually see the desktop right now. So that's the main reason why you could see this right now in this form, a full screen without any weird sidebars on the side. Right now, this is just a cutscene in the game, and you guys can see we're already having some audio issues, but the majority of the time, to be completely honest with you, with all the PS2 games that I tested, there's some audio lag inside of it. And when we get to actual gameplay, we're gonna be switching in between the graphic to see how it's performing. The video probably will be like around 10 to 15 minutes long. All depends, depending what we get to test. All right, now that that's over, let's create a new game. I don't have no save data. This is the first time I'm booted this. Like I said before, for the person who requested this video, it took me a while because I recently just received the game, and now that I have it, now I have the time to record it. So that's why we're doing this. So we could skip some of the stuff. I'm not trying to skip a lot of stuff so you guys can see the cutscene, and this is actually my first time playing this as well. Right now the game is running at 60 frames per second, but again, there's a lot of audio glitches in the game, and the visual effects is not as broken as the other games. Is a little bit shaky, but we're gonna see when we actually get more in game. Right now because it's all kind of like just standing still. So when you're standing still in an area, you of course you're gonna get the highest frames per second possible because you're not doing anything and you're just focusing in one point. But after we're done with this, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna check the character out, move around some of the areas to see how's everything performing. Right now I'm using a Bluetooth controller. I'm using a PS5 controller to play this. You could actually use an Xbox controller, PlayStation 4 controller, PS5 controller. As long as it has Bluetooth connection, it will be supported. But in latest updates on iOS, they support more like the main consoles controllers, like the PlayStation and the Xbox. So they support those more, as it's now native support in all the iOS updates. So if you have one of those, I recommend you to use one of those for better performance, to be completely honest with you. Also, whatever controller that is verified by Apple, MFI made for iPhone, it will work just fine. As long as they had a certification from Apple. If you're using the emulator in your iPhone, you could use the Backbone controller. That's actually a really good controller for iOS. I have one of those and I love it. So when I'm recording PSP or PS2 games from the iPhone, that's the controller that I'm using on my choice, because it gives me the handheld feeling when I'm using my iPhone with a Backbone controller. All right, we are now in game graphics, so we're gonna be switching around the graphics to see how the performance hits. Right now we're using a 1x. We're using the backend on OpenGL, and as you guys can see, it's actually running really well because it's running on native resolution around 60 frames per second. Let me put this days up to 4. Yes, so I'm gonna be changing people's names so we could go ahead and see what's going on. Don't forget that. Okay. Okay, now we can move our character. As you guys can see, it doesn't look that great. This is native resolution. We're gonna switch the resolution. Let me create a save state just in case. We're gonna save it on slot number 3, which is gonna save it right here, just in case something happens. If the game crash, we could go back to that save. We're gonna change the resolution factor. We're gonna go to 2x. I believe that's either 720 or 1080p. I think 3x is around 1080p, if I'm not mistaken. But no, I think the 2x is 1080p. 4x, I believe that's around 4K, if I'm not mistaken, and the AX is around 5K. Let me see. So now, as you guys can see, we're running at 2x, and look how beautiful the game just got after switching it around. And we're getting like around 59 to 60 frames per second. Again, this is running on the iPad Pro M1, the one with the M1 chip, so it has a little bit more horsepower. But I'm pretty sure is you have one of the latest iPhone, the 14 or the 13 with the A15. For the 14, as long as you have the Pro with the A16 chip, you should be fine with either of those devices. As long, of course, you don't go over the limit, because what I mean is, like, the iPad Pro M1 and the M2, they have around 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the RAM is shared between the graphics and the system the system RAM. So is basically what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit gibberish. I'm reading at the same time as I'm kind of speaking, but what I mean is, you upscale the resolution on the game, is gonna demand the device for more RAM on the video RAM, in order to output that resolution scale that you're trying to do. So if you are, for the iPhone specifically, if you put it in a resolution way too high, the emulator is gonna crash, because your device is not gonna have enough video RAM to support that resolution. I could go a little bit more up in this one, because like I said, the iPad Pro M1 has a lot of VRAM. It has like around 8 gigabytes for the standard version. It has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but the apps are allowed to use up to 6. That's why I could upscale the graphics. Like right now I'm using 4x, which is I believe it's 4K, without any issues. This emulator doesn't let you know what's going on, but this is actually what's going on, because I tested this using the Dolphin emulator, because the Dolphin emulator actually lets you know what's going on. I tested out on my iPhone trying to upscale Resident Evil 4 around 5K, and it let me know that I didn't have enough video RAM available, so that's why the emulator crashed. That's one of the things that you need to be aware of. Let's see what no, oh no, I went to the wrong place. That's what I came from just now. So that's one of the things that you got to be aware of. So to keep it safe, you should be between 1 to 2x, because you could have 1x, again, is a standard resolution. 2x, you're gonna have a clear, more image. And right now on 4x, because again, we are using the iPad Pro M1, and I'm pretty sure this could run perfectly fine on the iPhone 13, 14, and 12 without any hiccups or issues. All right, let's see what else we could do. To be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention. I just wanted to get outside and see where we could go. I don't even know where we need to go. Let's see. But so far this game is running as 60 FPS, but we need to get into an area, like an open area again, so we could like test it out a little bit more. Yeah, where are the areas that we could go? That's what we got out. We got out from the station. This is here, enter. But what's going on? No one is here, so I can go through there. I get the rest of the areas where I could add to into that and go. Oh, there we go. There's some areas where I could go there. See the red spot there in the screen, so you guys can see. We're actually getting in there. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We could actually go here. Front door. The entrance of the annex is closed. Please use the entrance in the main building. So we could go through this side right here, I guess. No one is here. Again? So where can we go? I need to be paying more attention to this game because I don't know what's going on. But these are the beginning areas, and so far we got a good performance. So I could expect that the next areas are actually gonna be as good as well. Oh, I see. There's an area here, so we could enter. So we could enter through here. Let's see. There we go. We are here. Okay, the frame runs like around 50 frames per second. It's understandable since we're running the game at 4K. But again, as you guys can see, this is a scale to 4x, and look how clean this looked. It looks nice and clean. I haven't seen any visual artifacts just yet. Just some like all the other games, the audio is really like choppy. I don't know if you guys can hear right now, but it's being like cutting off a little bit. So it's been doing a lot for all the game, but I mentioned before in previous update the emulator. This emulator is still work in progress, and I believe it's only like 1 or 2 guys I think working on it. And even though it's a little shaky right now, it's promising because this emulator doesn't require you to use a BIOS file. The other emulators require you to use a BIOS file for PS2. I'm talking about ETRSS2, which is the best mobile PS2 emulator, and PCSX2, which is the best PS2 emulator available on PC. But this one has a lot of potential because that one big fact that you don't have to use a BIOS file, which is way or acquiring a BIOS file is either dumping your own file or from your PS2 or kind of getting that file illegally and downloading from the internet, which I don't condone doing that. And this one doesn't require you to use a BIOS file, which is actually pretty amazing. And also when you have your games inside the emulator, they automatically download the art for the cover of the game, which the other emulators, they don't do that just yet unless they pair their emulator with the Steam Grid community. That will be great. But this one, every single time I pass my games over, it automatically download the game art. That's one pro that it has with this emulator that I actually really like. What is your interesting in playing this game? Pretty sure because of the performance that it's doing right now, you could actually probably play this game start to finish. I haven't checked the compatibility list for this game, but so far everything's been working fine. Just like in every game that I tested here, just the audio is a little bit of an issue, but everything else is just work just fine. Where we need to go now? I will make sure to leave the compatibility list down below in the video description so you guys can check the games that you're interested in playing with the emulators, so you guys can see if the game is compatible or not, which I encourage you to 100%. Please, when you want to check any game, to make sure you read through the compatibility list and type the name of your games that you actually find if the game is going to be compatible or not. Because sometimes if the game runs or not, they have some workarounds to make the game work on the emulator, and it's super helpful for all of you guys. So please make sure you always check the compatibility list. Once again, we're inside or another area, and as you guys can see, everything's looking nice, beautiful, upscale to 4K. Again, now I see some of the visual artifacts right now. The shadows are not so well attached to the floor. It's still floating in the air, and we saw the shaky shadows for the objects. But character render and the areas rendering and actually rendering pretty fine. Then having a lot of issues just besides those little artifacts that we can see on the screen. So it's not as bad. If you could take this, as you guys can see right now on under the girls, the shadow how is flickering is will be a little bit distracted, but again, the game is actually playable. I will say this is in game that we had glitches. It's not 100% playable. I haven't go through all the game. This is just the first, like around 20 minutes or so of the game that you guys can see right now in this video. So I apologize for the long this says, but the thing is a lot of talking in this type of game. So to get to some areas, you actually need to talk your way over your way out, so you could go and explore the area. So it does takes a lot. But so far, as you were interested in checking this game out, as you can see, it is playable. The game is upscaled to 4K. Let me save this here just in case I need some more testing. So we're gonna save this here. And let me try to upscale it to the maximum, which is 5K, to see if the game crashes or not. Okay, the game's scale of 5K is running between 50 to 60 frames, so which is actually kind of impressive. But only time will tell, depending we will like really high intense area, if the game is gonna crash running at resolution or not. But so far, it's just in this area alone, it's actually running pretty well, but kind of dropping the frames to 40 and so. So for more stable performance, if you're playing on an iPhone, I recommend you to have it like around 2x, so you could enjoy the beautiful crispy graphics. So if you're playing on an iPad, you could go all the way to 4x. You could do so the same way on the iPhone, but make sure you have all your apps running in the background that are closed, so the emulator could utilize all the available memory that the system let it, so it could use all of that, so you could enjoy this crispiness upscaling the game. Well, that will be all for today, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe for more, and you find this video helpful. Please also make sure to subscribe to my channel. That helped me a lot, and it helps my video to get discovered. You can actually share this video with your friends and so on. And if you have any questions, please make sure you leave it down below in the video description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.